Thank you, Professor Lugo Morales, for speaking with me today.
My pleasure.
My first question is, why did this type of work interest you, and how did you get started?
Well, initially when I started studying my bachelor degree, I thought that I want to be like a medical doctor. So I registered myself in all the biology classes, and I have psychology. And oh my God, I cannot even say it about the impact that a professor may or may not have on you. So I remember that biology teacher. Oh, that was really awful. Really, really awful. I hate that class. I mean, I get a good grade, but I didn't enjoy the process. However, for the psychology class was something else. I love it. I get engaged with the physiological part of psychology, with the psychological part, the study of the mind. And at the end of that semester, I switched. So I think that was more like I discovered something that I was really passionate about it that I didn't know before I was exposed.
I definitely agree about the teacher thing, because you were my first psychology professor. Like, you were positive psychology, it wasn't psychology, like general psychology. But it made me, like, this class made me excited to go. So sometimes I'd wake up and I'm like, man, I have to go to, like, math today, or man, I had to do 2 classes a day, or I had to do English or something. I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, oh, today's my psychology class, I'm good.
That's good. That's good.
And so
I'm glad.
Now I take general psychology, and now I'm like, wow, I really like this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all you.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, I'm afraid. Okay.
Okay, my second question is, how did you get your current job, and what led you to it?
Well, I am working in 2 different jobs now. I am part-time at Valencia 3 days a week.
Okay.
That one, I have been teaching since graduate from the PhD, since I graduated from the PhD.
Wow.
So when I moved to the state, initially I did not work as a professor because I have this sense of insecurity regarding my accent. So I waited a little bit, and then I just applied. I mean, it was a little difficult to get in, but I was able to do it. My second job is in an office with a psychiatrist. So basically what I do there, I'm a contractor, so they contract me to provide counseling services for people that have actually severe mental health illness. So I go there twice a week, and I provide counseling like back to back, like 7, 8 clients a day. It's really exhausting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I am going down a little bit the amount of clients, but yeah. And what is the other part of
what led you to it?
Well, I think that when you study psychology is, has different things that you can do. So you can decide to, work full-time in a clinic. You can decide to work full-time as a professor or as a consultant, as a supervisor. So you can decide what do you want to do as part of your career. In my case, I discovered that I don't want to be in an office 5 days a week because I am a little hyper sometimes. And in order for me to be 5 days a week, need to be something that I can control, meaning my own private practice that hopefully I will have it soon. But that's what I choose 2 different things because I want to have okay, so one day I'm helping people, the other day I am helping a student to find their path. But students more likely, they are young, they have that fresh look of life that add something in my heart, honestly. Because the other 2 days I am working with people that are severely depressed.
Yeah.
So I think that creates a balance for my own mind.
Emotional self,
Oh, definitely. Definitely, yeah.
As a practicing psychologist, what is a typical day like?
Well, if it's in the office, because I'm working for somebody else, which is different than if you have your own practice. So let's compare those. So for what I'm doing right now, working for somebody else, so you get there, you turn on the computer and the client is waiting for you already. So you are literally pack-to-pack client, 9 to 10, you finish that, you write down the note, and then you have the other one waiting. Making phone calls, so you are constantly. Some days are really stressful, especially if you have crisis,
Yeah.
meaning that you have a client that verbalized that they have suicidal ideation. That changed your whole day, because now in that case you need to involve third-party people, meaning you need to involve the police, you need to call the hospital so they can be hospitalized. So it's quite a different than if you don't have that. So
Yeah.
if you don't have it and it's a day that is like kind of normal, so it's just client one after another one. If you have a private practice, quite a different, because in a private practice, if you are by yourself, and I used to have one in Puerto Rico, you need to call the clients just to check if they are there. You need to handle money, do the billing.
Yeah.
And if you are working with somebody else, they do have like people that will do that for you. So each one have advantage and disadvantage depending of what do you want and how do you see yourself in the future. For teaching, is more energetic, because you are receiving feedback that is positive from the student, which are interacting in a positive way with you. Not all the time, but most of the time. And I work like 9:30 up to 3 p.m. So I will say that I get home earlier. That's important. And I enjoy teaching, actually. I wish that I can do it like every single day, but I don't think that that's something possible here in Florida.
What were some or a negative or some or a positives of being a practicing psychologist?
Oh, I have a list. Okay, so let's go to the teaching piece. Okay, so the teaching, if you are a part-timer like me, you may feel isolated, meaning you come here, you teach, and you leave. So you are not part, well, you can be, but you need to do like an extra effort coming here, like extra hours, in order to create that sense of community. So I know a lot of people here at Valencia, but the reality is I come, I teach, and I leave.
Yeah.
So I say hi to people, but you don't have that sense like when you work full time in a place that you work 9 to 5 and you see exactly the same people all the time, that you create a relationship with them. Well, that one is a little difficult to reach, and you feel in some way that you are replaceable. Doesn't matter how hard you try, how good you are. One day they can say, well, there's no classes for you, so bye. So that is very unsettled. For all the professors that are part-time. So it's not just me, it's everybody. So that will be for the professor piece. That's the negative part. So sometimes you feel like lack of support. For the clinical piece, there's so many challenges there. Because number one, if you have the private practice, you may feel isolated. You need to have sometimes where you go to other practices to talk with other professionals like you, so you don't feel like you are in your little corner.
Your little bubble.
and that can happen, because sooner or later you are going to have so many clients that you are unable to do that. So yes, that's going to happen sooner or later. But the most difficult part is creating a balance between your personal life and your professional life, because you get so much invested in helping other people, that sometimes, for example, you don't spend time, or you forget about, let me have like 3 hours so I can go out with the friends and don't talk about problems and laugh. And sometimes the problem with that is that sometimes your own friends see you as a psychologist, and so when you go out with them, you are not laughing. They are talking about their problems.
I see.
And you are like, oh Lord, what is this? I am doing psychotherapy, but outside of the office in my spare time.
Oh my gosh.
So, I think that that part is really difficult, learning how to create a balance where you take time for you, so you can have your own sense of wellness, create time to spend time with the family. And that part is just hard.
Squeeze it all in.
Yeah, especially if you are a type A personality, which I am. You just want to work, and that's not a good thing. So I learned through the years. I'm not doing it now regarding work, but because I learned through the years that I need to sometimes work less hours so I can have time for my family.
Yeah.
But before, when I was really young, I was like work. But things change. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And what advice would you give to someone entering the psychologist field?
That's a good one because I wish that I would have a mentor early on when I started studying. I did not have that. I will say, number one, if you have a chance and you feel that you need a psychotherapy process, go ahead and do it. Meaning, don't wait until you are 50 to say, oh my God, I feel that I have a low self-esteem. No, do it now. Don't wait. Just do it. Number two, take some time to identify who you are and what do you want in life. And more than what do you want in life, what are the things that you enjoy? I think that that's important. I think that if I look back, my life was all about studying since I was a child. Even the summers, for example, I would have classes at university.
Oh, wow.
I did high school in 2 years instead of 4. So I was all about studying because I want to be a different generation than my parents, right?
Yes.
They didn't have college degrees, so I want to have that. And later, I discovered that I didn't know what I like. And what I mean, and don't take lightly, is that, what are those things beyond the easy aspect of life that you like? Do you have a hobby? What things do you do in order to de-stress yourself? Why? Because you don't want to wait until you are in a fully investment in the profession to realize that this is hard.
Yeah.
And that you need to find a way for you to relax and enjoy your life. So you don't engage so much in the client's life and in their problems that you stop enjoying your life. That is called countertransference. And that's something that is going to happen sooner or later. But if you know that foundation of who you are and what do you want and what is the path, and you learn not to compare yourself with others, sooner or later you create a really strong foundation about you. So I think that those are lessons that people kind of start learning that while they are studying, and not wait until they are fully invested on the profession, or wait until they have the master's degree. And one of the things that I really, really like about my master's degree, and not every university have that, is that they have one-on-one supervision, and that supervisor kind of like help you in the process of walking in the profession. And that was really nice. That was really nice. Was not a full mentor, but it kind of like was
guidance,
a mentor, some guidance, and that was good.
Well, those are all my questions.
I got this.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
then.
thank you for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.